For the second time in Integrity Ignite Series history, the Big Evil Designs 250 is less than 5 minutes away. Welcome to tonight's coverage from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. This is the Integrity Ignite Series in their second season of competition, returning to the world center of racing for our season opener in 2024. 250 miles, 100 laps. The qualifying grid has already been decided in last week's duels, and over 50 drivers have registered for the session already, with more still joining as we speak. Up to 60 drivers are eligible to take to the track, so keep in mind we're seeing the biggest possible field at Daytona, with more than 50 already confirmed and a few more on the way. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing all of tonight's action, and as it stands, there's final practice with 4 minutes left on the clock. But before we go see the drivers on the racing circuit, how about we take a look at our starting grid for tonight's event? And as we mentioned, it's a large one. Right now, it does not appear to be fully calculated. However, it was based on our duels, and your front row is currently with us. Chad Mikas will hold the pole position. He's on pit road right now in the number 25, and he finds himself at the top of the timing charts, given the fact that he was the fastest in single car qualifying last week at the World Center of Racing. So he qualified his way to the front row, and so did Carter Casey. Casey's going to be starting in second tonight, and then you'll have to move back one row to your dual winners in Thomas Bresci, who's currently right now on pit road, and the rookie in the number 46, John Pillion, also right there on your screen. Most drivers right now are on pit road because we've had just about an hour of practice already, and at the top of the charts in this practice session, Stephen Wetton and Ben Sebastian Miller, rookies, make up your top 3 right now. Now, with practice on the move, a lot of new names to this season, taking some first chances, getting to grips with the track once again. It's going to be a very large field, and with 100 laps on the table, you cannot be too risky so early. Some drivers practicing their pit stops right now. You'll see coming in, Jacob Fife, looked like Andrew Schaub as well, and pit road is very, very busy. Some drivers going out in packs. You can see Neil Froelich on the way. Brian McFerrin is coming in this time by, and he'll make it down to pit road with no trouble here in his number 7 Ford Mustang. Every driver getting prepared for the most important event of the season, and there's a lot on the line given the fact it is our season opener. It not only opens up our full points championship, but our first Integrity Ignite Series bracket, cash prizes. If you want a chance to win them, you've got to succeed tonight. Kyle Cooper currently going to be on the track as well. With 2 minutes before our race, how about we get to know this track? Daytona International Speedway, the 2.5-mile circuit in Daytona Beach, Florida. Currently a lot of real-life racing going on to that circuit. The Daytona 500 concluding just minutes ago. William Byron getting the win over Alex Bowman in a controversial under yellow finish just after the white flag waved. However, tonight, weather will not be an issue. However, it's a track size almost unknown anywhere else in the world. 2.5 miles, banking of over 30 degrees through all 4 primary corners, and nearly 20 degrees of banking through the front straightaway. It's a high-speed, high-octane circuit where drivers are going to be hitting speeds of over 185 miles an hour wherever you see them, all throughout the track. Tonight, we're using the NASCAR Xfinity Series package. However, many racing circuits have taken to the track. We've seen endurance racing, we've seen motorcycles, stock car racing, rallycross, and much, much more at this historic venue. Opened in 1959 and first put onto the iRacing platform in 2007, and it's been there ever since. Drivers are wrapping up their final laps here. Looks like Kyle Cooper is going to be coming in, and so is Bobby Terrell. Terrell, one of the many rookies in tonight's race. It looks like 52 drivers are in the session of the 55 that have taken qualifying times based on the duels and our hot lap procession. We got a good majority of the field. Even though there's a lot of real-life racing, it's the place to be on Monday night, the Integrity Ignite Series. Some drivers are going to be sharing pit stalls, as you see. Timothy Johnston and Thomas Bresci are with one another, and that's going to make those green flag pit stops very, very tricky. Not enough room for everyone, and last time we had a plate race, we went all the way under green. No cautions at Talladega the second time we went there last year. Thomas Bressi won both times at Talladega. Rob Ackley and Travis McQuistion share wins at Daytona, and they're the only two winners at this track in league, or rather, series history. Stephen Wetton going to be the fastest driver in this final practice session. The rookie in the number 10 goes to the top of the board, and just like that, practice is over from Daytona. Now, the starting grid coming onto your screen for the first time tonight. As we mentioned, Chad Mikas at the top of the board in his number 25, and he's got quite a lot of drivers there with them as you look further back in the field. How's about we take a look through your starting grid for tonight's event, the Big Evo Designs 250. Now, this one's going to take a while, so let's go through it one by one. Chad Mikas, the owner of Big Evo Designs, finds himself in the pole position, putting down the fastest time in hot lap qualifying. He's going to be there over Carter Casey in the number 2 machine. Second spot on the board for the driver, the number 2. He finds himself the second quickest in our qualifying session off of raw pace. Thomas Bressi wins duel number 1, and John Pillion wins duel number 2. They'll be starting on the second row, third and fourth respectively, with Brad Patton, who's the bridesmaid in the Octane Series last season at Daytona, starting in 5th, and DJ Stagner, who won the Highline Racing League event at Daytona 2 seasons in a row as recently as last week. He's going to be starting in 6th, with Cody Griffin then 7th, and Brandon Bernhardt then in 8th. Going to be Trevor Trago in the 9th spot, and Shane Ewing in the 10th position, and it's going to be 11th place to Forrest Smith with John Borst in 12th. Kyle Cooper will be in 13th in number 73. Brand new look for him this season. Cody Erdman's going to be in 14th, and it'll be Jacob Fife in 15th with Neil Froelich then 16th spot. Anthony DeBarro is going to be in 17th with Jay Aishman in 18th. Travis McQuistion, who won in Daytona last summer, he's back, and he'll be starting 19th with Brad Wren then 20th. 21st is going to be Sebastian Miller. The rookies, who were 1st and 2nd in our practice session, they line up 21st and 22nd tonight with Wetton 22nd. Braxton DeWeese is going to be in 23rd. It will then be Gael Brooks in 24th, Nick Tarbuck 25th, Chris Goubeau is going to be in 26th, and Brandon Kirkman is then in 27th. As you can see, there's an airplane on the top right of your screen landing just beyond the Daytona International Speedway circuit. Virtual fans are flocking into the grandstands as we speak, and it looks like we got a great crowd already. Got to thank all those in the chat room: Chris DeWeese, Average Jams, Alan's Art Images, Camo Creative, Doug Middendorf, and of course, we're hoping to see more interaction as the race goes on. Blake Gordon will be starting 28th, Bobby Terrell will then be 29th, and Andrew Schaub will round out the top 30. It'll be Sean Carmody, who led laps last season at Daytona, in the 31st spot, Brian McFerrin 32nd, and Cody Smith of Next Level Racing, he'll be starting 33rd with Matthew Thunhorst then in 34th. Tim Rogers is going to be 35th, he'll be running the 48 this season, not defending champion Alec Daffin. Boomer Logan's 36th, and it'll be Alan Dobbs 37th, the rookie Elliott Drummond in 38th, and Don Runkle in 39th, with Vinny Tigner of Saturday Night Thunder rounding out the top 40. 41st is going to be Rob Ackley. Timothy Johnston will be 42nd. Alan Rawell is 43rd. Ryan Potter of the Highline Racing League and Swamp Motorsports, he'll be racing with his teammate DJ Stagner tonight, 44th. Adam Wood is 45th. Chuck Sweeting is 46th. Cal Fularski is 47th, and Justin Trombley is in 48th. Nicholas Cohan returns with a new number in the number 41. He's 49th, did not take any time during the duels, and he was not able to qualify any higher than that 49th position. Don Stevenson will be starting in 50th, and then from there, Kyle Trudell will be in 51st, and the 52nd and final driver, 26 rows deep, the number 78 of Todd Thomas, the biggest field in FTN history, and they're given a 3-wide salute. A lap to remember here, as we're going to see one of the biggest fields in all of iRacing, no less, taking to the track tonight. And quite a lot of the most talented drivers in all of virtual stock car racing. They've given us fantastic shows for over a year now, and returning for their second ever season, this is the Integrity Ignite Series, looking to get back to the action here in 2024. Last season, a brand new venture, of course, with a very well-known Integrity Racing League. They've been around for over a decade now, but the Integrity Ignite Series was brand new in 2023, and they gave us 30 fantastic racing events. DJ Stagner, the first ever champion, is back, and last season's champion Alec Daffin, while not here, put on a fantastic run till the end of the campaign to pull home with a dominant championship finish over your next level racing champion Thomas Bressi, who is going to be in the number 24 tonight. Bressi was the most consistent driver last season, but was not able to get himself a championship in either of the split seasons. That's something he's looking for when it comes down to this campaign in 2024. A few changes when it comes to our format this year. You're seeing we have, of course, 50-some drivers, so there is no cap on the drivers to this point in terms of entries. If you're here, you have a starting spot, and you will be welcomed in no matter the field size. In addition, we do not have split seasons this year. It is 24 races and then some. It goes up to 30 this season, as a matter of fact. No split, so it is going to be only one full season, one full points payout, and it's going to be fantastic to watch as it all goes down. And one last thing when it comes down to tonight, we do have merged pit stalls. That's going to be crazy when it comes down to strategy. As we get to it here, we're expecting to see some great green flag racing from start to finish. The Integrity Ignite Series has yet to disappoint at the world center of racing, and we have no weather to worry about. It's going to be, from start to finish, a fantastic performance from every driver. Chad Mikas representing Big Evil Designs. He gets to start up front in his own race. And the number 25 machine, red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes, knows how important a race this is for his organization and for the league as a whole. Carter Casey right beside him has some experience with the Saturday Night Thunder group as their co-owner, and the Budweiser number 2 machine looking to bring Bud back to glory here from the high banks. You've got Bressi and John Pillion, who had to fight to win races last week, the 40-lap duels each, and DJ Stagner, by no means a slouch at Daytona. We've seen him win multiple times at this track, and he did it in that very paint scheme just a week and a half ago. 52 drivers, 52 storylines, and they all come at a crossroads, the biggest crossroads in all of the United States. The iRacing official pace car is set to drop in this time by and let Chad Mikas and his company of drivers get to work for the first time in 2024. Pace car's lights are once again on, and it looks like we'll extend the caution once again, as it looks like there's something going on in the back of the field here. We were expecting to go green this time by. Look further back and you'll see drivers Todd Thomas, Kyle Trudell, Don Stevenson, and such. It's going to be hard to keep an eye on all these drivers, so expect about 35 in your frame throughout the entirety of this race, given the fact we have more than any other race in league history. It's going to be a bit tricky to keep an eye on every which one from top to bottom. However, timing and scoring at the top of the screen has you covered. We've got up-to-date intervals on every driver, no matter where they are in the field, and that's going to be your one-stop shop for looking out for your particular driver as the race goes on. And of course, for those coming in right now, if you've got a favorite driver in this field, be sure to let us know. There's quite a lot of options here, so if you've got a driver you're cheering, be sure to let us know in the chat room. Subscribe to Fireball Talks NASCAR for unlimited chat room access. We love to hear what you have to say all season long. Looking inside of Chad Mikas' number 25 one last time. A final opportunity to reflect before everything gets going. He got to, of course, take in the duels, not with the pressure of the other drivers, knowing he'd be the one starting up front no matter what. But this is what it's all about. Track position. Most recently, we saw an argument made by Joey Logano, who ended up starting in the front row this year in the Daytona 500, about how important that track position is, not just in starting the race, but the strategy as it goes on. And with such a big field tonight, you need to be up in front. For the guys who are 40th on back, let's take a look back at those such as Vinny Tigner and such. If you're back here, you've got to think about how you can make those moves up because you want to be in sync with the leaders on strategy, and you don't want to get caught by the wayside. There's so many drivers here. Everyone affects you that much more. Communication is key. You want the best drivers around you at the most opportune time. And for the leaders, it's going to be a bit easier, at least for this start. The iRacing official pace car is set to drop in this time by Chad Mikas in full control for the first time this season, and the Integrity Ignite Series is set to return to action in 2024. Pace car is going to take the hard left into pit road, and it's Mikas and Carter Casey first and second for the first time this season. And as they go through the Geico restart zone, the green flag flies for the first time this year. Welcome to the Integrity Ignite Series. The Big Evil Designs 250 is underway. At the line, advantage Carter Casey, and we're underway in 2024. It's still going to be 2x2 for the most part here. Don't expect these drivers to get all too risky in the opening laps, knowing how much time they've got ahead of them, especially up in front. For these drivers, you really want to keep on going and just hope to get away from the troubles of the back of the field, where everyone is most likely going to be much more intense. Look further back, and you're already seeing close to 3 wide racing, and you can see there's drivers such as Nicholas Cohan, Cal Filarski, Alan Rawell, Kyle Trudell already making moves here, and if you're so far back, going to be very, very tough to make those moves up as the race goes on. Track position is a major advantage tonight, and when you're mired back in 50th and then on, it's going to be tricky to get up and even to the top 25 without some attrition, so you really want to hope you avoid the wrecks, but at the same time, you need to get inside of this pack for a chance to succeed. Right now, they're going to be side by side for the race lead, and take a look who's going up front. It's Thomas Bressi looking for the race lead himself, and the 24 who won last season at Talladega, won both races last year at the track. He's now up to the front of the field, and he's leading once again at a SuperSpeedway race. He won his duel, won twice in Alabama, and is already up in front again with Brad Patton pushing and Cody Griffin now in third. Carter Casey's going to remain high. Chad Mikas goes up there too. For the first few laps, seeing some shuffles for the race lead. It's going to be the number 24 Exalta Chevrolet up to the top of the board. Now for Thomas Bressi, his successes last season did not go without reward. He came through with the biggest prize in Ignite Series history, and of course it's our Next Level Racing promotional partnership, which gave way to Thomas Bressi acquiring a brand new Next Level Racing simulator worth $2,000 US. Now, he was the most consistent driver of 2023 by a long shot, second in both points championships by very slim margins, and if it was an entire year championship system, he would have been the winner far and away. So I'm sure he's happy to have that opportunity this year to be consistently the quickest of all drivers. He got the biggest prize, but didn't get a season championship, and I'm sure in one way or another, he's definitely looking for just that. Look at a breakaway here. Braxton Weiss is the final driver hanging on to our leading pack. Then you go back to about 18th and then some, and you're seeing pack number 2. Brandon Kirkman, Neil Froelich, Sebastian Miller, DJ Stagner, etc. They're all lying back right now. The Raging Cajun, number 64, is working now instead of going up front immediately, staying in the middle of the field and hoping to get away from the troubles of the big pack. Right now, it seems to be working. At this point anyway, most drivers have remained calm in the top 25, top 30 or so, and from then on out, you look back and then you see guys like Ackley, you see Boomer Logan, Andrew Schaub, Don Runkle, and you have to look around the 40th spot to really get that antsy racing, and then you see the single file once again, further on back from Matthew Thunhorst in 45th, and then Chuck Sweeting in 46th. So early on, double file and sometimes triple file more common in the middle of the field. You see there the Microsoft co-pilot number 91 of Cal Filarski and Timothy Johnston's number 28 as Adam Wood in the number 45 Home Depot machine is right in front as well. Trevor Trago right now up at the head of the field. He finds himself with his Wanted Goons teammate Brad Patton. Look out for the 37 and 07 all night long as they work together, and the front row is once again back on top. It's Carter Casey's number 2 leading the way now, and Chad Mike is in that number 25. He's up top looking to lead a lap. He wasn't able to do so previously, and now with the help of Shane Ewing, he is at the top of the board. A bit of a wiggle off Shane, but he leads the lap regardless. Shane Ewing now going to be there in the second spot, runner-up, and he's got Duel 2 winner John Pillion pushing him in the double play number 46. Your dual winners remain inside the top 10, and the rookie is now ahead of Thomas Bresci. And that's a new driver we have to mention as the season goes on. We got a few new faces. John Pillion is blinking just a bit, but he's still there in the middle of the frame, and he was able to win his second duel. It was a close battle between he and DJ Stagner. It came down to 9 one-thousandths of a second. For Pillion, it's a big deal to open up with such a, of course, great first impression. For a lot of these drivers here, you got to trust who you're working around to make those big moves, and already he's building that trust with a few rookies up top. Carter Casey's going to be on the high side, so is John Pillion there as he almost gets in the wall, and he's getting pushed by another rookie in Cody Erdman. The top side is a lot of our newer drivers. The bottom are largely the veterans, but Carter Casey drops down to the bottom once again. Alex K in the chat room looking to root for Chad Mikus tonight, and right now, Mikus finds himself going up to the top of the track once again as he sets his sights on the top of the board 8 laps in. It's still going to be a stalemate up in front. First and second, respectively, are not going to get more than about a tenth of a second away from each other, and that's just how close they are each and every time around. Very close and consistent. You look back here at about Rob Ackley's position, and Ackley runs in about 25th. That's where they're 3 wide. So he's in the middle of the field right now, 25th of about 52 drivers still going, and he finds himself in the thick of it. Stephen Wetton, Alan Rowell, 7 laps down respectively. They're going to be 51st and 52nd here, but Ackley, the first ever winner in the Integrity Ignite Series history, he's in the middle of the pack right now. He knows what it takes to win at Daytona, but qualifying effort, not what he wanted. He's made some big moves, though. He is up from 41st to 25th. The only other driver who's made a bigger advancement is Todd Thomas. Thomas in the number 78 machine tonight. He's the 38 on your screen. He's gone from 52nd up to 20th. He's up 32 spots already in this race, and he's still got more to go, of course, but big moves so far, and he's already in the vicinity of your front runners. Impressive for him to get up in the top 20 so early. We just got to lap 10. And the first challenge, it is on. Just a few positions ahead of him. It's Nicholas Cohan from 49th up to 17th. And then you have to look further back for other drivers who started in the 40 spots. Cohan's looking 3. He's looking close, and he's going to have to back off. That was a very close call with Blake Gordon there on the quarter panel of the Tide ride, and luckily nothing came of it there. But that was a risk, and luckily didn't result in any trouble. But you saw the AutoZone number 41 trying to split 3 on Brandon Bernhardt and Blake Gordon there, and that could have been trouble. Looks like we stay green regardless as everyone packs it up and gets going again. There's a lap machine. It's going to be, I believe, Sean Carmody's to come by, and that's the number 40 Havoline machine on the track as the leaders come through. What's the call for the number 40? It looks like he's going to stay high. He'll commit to it, and everyone's going to go below him. Carter Casey now leads by a full car length as they're going to pass by the lap machine of Sean Carmody. He'll get away from the field and he'll leave them to get back to the work up in front. Shane Ewing in the Rayovac number 32 pushes in the second row, and now Cody Griffin is there as well. Griffin starting up in the top 10, so he had a solid placement to begin with and looks to be in good standing to go all the way if he can keep it up in front. At the line once again, Carter Casey with a slight advantage, and he's going to maintain that race lead just ahead of Chad Mikas. They're still first and second here. Then you look back to Shane Ewing, and there's Thomas Bresci, John Pillion, Cody Erdman, Brad Patton, and you look in addition, there's now John Borst and Trevor Trago rounding out the top 10. A few new looks tonight. Forrest Smith has a brand new paint scheme, and he's representing 213simware.com. He's right now just neck and neck with John Borst and runs inside the top 10 with that brand new paint scheme. A lot of drivers are bringing some new identities to the racing circuit, and right now it's clear that a lot of these drivers looking to get that good seat time up in front, not going to be waiting around. I mean, right now it looks like the top 3 bubble still going to be stagnant, but look back even to Jacob Fife now. Fife is in 18th. He's 3 wide. And right behind him, there's Todd Thomas, your biggest mover of the night. Thomas is now from 52nd up to about 21st, so he dropped back just a bit, but he's fighting in the middle of the top 20 bubble here. Braxton DeWeese is just ahead of him. You can also see Fife and DJ Stagner, so by no means a bad place to be right now for the man who started last in this race, already up in the top half of the field, and he's neck and neck, pushing and shoving with some of the most experienced drivers in this league. He's got league owner Jacob Fife right ahead of him, and as we look on board here, you're seeing he's trying to drop down to the middle. That he does, and he's now right behind previous Daytona winner Travis McQuistion as they're going to go 2 wide in his area once again. Up top, Anthony DeBarro, who he's now going to go 3 wide with and try to get by quickly. Looks like he does, and now the focus is on a driver like John Borst. Looks like John has dropped back just a bit, so no major gains for Borst recently. Matter of fact, he's dropping back, starting 12th, and right now finds himself in about 17th as they come through down the back straightaway once again. Very close calls for every driver in the field. You gotta keep on your toes. It's a game of inches, and so far, nobody has misstepped. But of course, we don't know how long that's gonna last. At Talladega, we were 3x3 for almost the entire race. No cautions at all until the very end. So these drivers have the capability of going all the way. However, last time here at Daytona, we did see troubles beginning as early as about lap 15. So keep that in mind. In the 80-lap feature we saw to kick off our second season, we saw a bit more hesitancy from drivers, but by Talladega we cleaned things up once again. Luckily, a lot of these drivers showed up for the duels, so it's not like they're completely unexperienced, but it's different when there's 52 drivers on the track and not 25. Track conditions are definitely changing. As you can see right now, no sunlight all throughout the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Partly cloudy skies, 66 degrees Fahrenheit in the air temperature. And you can see right now, well, the drivers are really glued to the track. It's actually just about 15 degrees warmer on the track surface. Comes in at about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So even though it's not necessarily warm, it's very, very mild in all honesty. These drivers are warming up the track more and more, and they've got to keep that in mind as the race goes on. It's going to be all about the fluctuating conditions, and right now with every driver, more than 45 of which taken to the track, it's only going to get warmer and warmer at least for about the next hour or so, and that's about how long this race is predicted to go. So expect these temperatures to slightly rise as drivers continue to lay down more rubber, and they're going to be keeping the heat on all night long. Chad Mikas up top. He's got the advantage and looks to be coming across with the lead as they come to the start-finish line this time by. At the line, Mikas is going to be 3 wide for the race lead. Shane Ewing is up top. Carter Casey right there too. At the line, Casey's got the race lead and now finds himself up top as they're going to split at 3. 17 laps in out of 100 with Cody Erdman right now running the middle of the second groove. John Pillion gets loose. keeps it straight, but it's going to be close here. Chris Cabot slows down big. The outside line loses a lot of momentum. Luckily, not a lot of drivers up there, but that could have been very, very tricky as they keep it going down the backstretch once again. Looks like it's going to be Erdman filing back in. John Pillion is losing a lot of time here. He's falling back to 16th and then some. Chris Cabot, Nicholas Cohan, they drop back even more. And just like that, one small hiccup is going to give way to the third line's demise. It's only going to be 2x2 for the time being as they come across the stripe. Your front row that started this race still lead the way. How about we ride on board with the number 26 of Cody Erdman? Clean air up in front for Cody Erdman in this number 26. The only driver he's got to focus on is Chad Mikus, who's right ahead of him here. And you can see that number 25 has the clean air and the clean skies just ahead of him. Carter Casey, Chad Mikus, they've been up in front for the majority of this race so far. And at the stripe, it's Casey leading once again. Cody Griffin and Cody Erdman. The Codys are right now running third and fourth. Of course, 3 Codys in the field tonight, and the third of which is running very, very far back relative to these two. That's Cody Smith, who's running in 34th right now, so it's a different ball game for that number 18 machine as he runs single file in the back of the field, whereas our other 2 Codys are fighting for the lead. Smith, though, he got it done last year in the Integrity Octane Series at Daytona, so he knows a thing or two about winning in this league at this historic track. Keep an eye out for the number 18. If we get bunched up a time or two and he gets enough track position, I think he'll be one of the guys to watch as the race goes on. But right now, it's all about these top 2 drivers as they come across the stripe yet again. It's Chad Mikus and Carter Casey, 20 laps in out of 100. Cody Erdman going to wiggle just a bit high as we're seeing a third line coming to play once again. It's the number 46 of John Pillion, who's currently running just within the top 20. He's trying to go 3 wide, but really nobody going to be going with him here, which is not good news if you're a driver trying to get some help up top. You want to make those moves. You want to get away from the traffic here, and you're gridlocked. It's almost like the earlier stages of tonight's Daytona 500. The first 20-odd, 30-odd laps under green, and really the first 2 stages where we kept it largely under green. It's almost this procession. Now, by no means is it boring here with so many drivers, but when you're someone like John Pillion who's working in the middle of the pack, you got a way, quite frankly, and it's going to be tricky to do so without any help. He's still 3 wide here, and the side draft is helping him to stay there, but I know he wants a few drivers to go up top, try to work with him, and maybe try to get up front. It's early, though, to try and make that risk work out. But if you want to get in places here in this track, in this series, you got to figure things out. As it stands, though, he's going to remain 3 wide as everyone else up in front remains double file. Chad Mikus and Carter Casey still lead. Let's focus on the back of the field right now and see what's going on. 40th on back. Looks like Sean Carmody caught wind of these lap machines and, of course, the leaders as well, and he's now running in 50th, 1 lap down. He's going to be working with these drivers here, just trying to stay with the draft. 20 laps down is Alan Rawell, and 21 laps down is Stephen Wetton. They're still 51st and 52nd, and their nights appear to be just about already over. Carmody is still trying here, having a bit of trouble, but he has found himself with the draft, so not as much to worry about. You'll see as you look further back, right now, up in front again, Thomas Bressy's going to be up at the top of the board. Cal Filarski right now runs in about 47th spot. He's single file. Chuck Sweeting is scored in 48th. It's Jay Aishman in 49th, and Ben Sean Carmody there in 50th. So number 75 of Sweeting right now at the tail end of the field. Then you see Adam Wood. He's going to be right now just behind the rookie and Bobby Terrell. Don Stevenson works on the bottom. He's got Gael Brooks, Justin Tromley right around him as well, and Ryan Potter, who is going to be, of course, working with DJ Stagner if he can. He's with Swamp Motorsports. His teammates aren't around him. Not at all right now. DJ Stagner, as a matter of fact, is running just about inside And we look at it once again, he's looking 22nd, so just about inside the top 20, as you can see Stagner coming by. Ryan Potter is about 20 spots behind him, so these two will not be able to work together, at least for now, as Tim Rogers in the number 48 is going to be up top in the Taco Bell number 48 machine. He's got Kyle Trudell right there, and Travis McQuistion is now going to be just ahead of Rob Ackley. Coming into tonight, only 2 winners in Integrity Ignite Series history at this circuit, and they're now running just in front and just behind each other respectively. McQuistion won in the summer, Rob Ackley won last February, so they know what it takes to get it done here more than anyone else, but they're running mid-pack and hoping to see this race go as calm as it has for at least a few more, because we're coming up on our pit cycle at about lap 40, expecting some pit stops within the next 10-15 laps. And given the way this race has gone so far, green flag pit stops becoming more and more likely as it goes on. Coming through this time by, it's going to be still Carter Casey, Chad Mikas there as well, Cody Griffin and Cody Erdman working with each other, and across the stripe again they'll go. It's Casey still on the bottom side, advantage just barely going to be Chad Mikas, and he goes across the stripe as your race leader yet again. Once more they're going to be neck and neck. It's going to be Mikas up top and then Carter Casey right down low. Take a look off the back bumper right now, Carter Casey, and you'll see how much he's got to work with in this rear view mirror. He's got Cody Griffin, who's been a reliable pusher so far, and the entire field looking to claw back at him. Right now, holding a steady wheel is really all you can do if you're that number 03. Cody Griffin staying right there in third, hoping to keep a calm and steady push every time around. Luckily, when it comes to these NASCAR Xfinity Series bumpers, they are flat, not like the Next Gens in the Cup Series where there is a bit of a curve on them. You can hit square from almost any angle, unless, of course, you really come at the extremes in the end of the quarter panel. For most part, though, it's a bit of a calmer ride if you're the driver who's leading the way, because you don't have to risk a bad push in a very awkward angle, at least for the most of the time. So I think Carter Casey, Chad Mikas alike, they're both rolling steadily right now, not worrying as much about a bad push and more so worrying about that strategy. Fuel and tires. Expect drivers to come in for 4 Goodyear rubber on the Eagles. Of course, you want to get all 4 tires put together because it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit, still slightly climbing in terms of temperature. As we mentioned, they're still laying rubber down, still making the track warmer. And as the race goes on, it's going to stay that way from start to finish. I think we're going to see more and more of just that. Drivers looking to wear the rubber down more so, sometimes trying to use that top side too. And with more lanes being used, you're putting more down on the track, and it continues more so and more so till the race concludes. So expect drivers to come down for 4 tires of Goodyear Eagles and, of course, a fuel load, a full one, because these drivers seem to be full send on going long distances without any caution so far. Thomas Bressie is going to be now in the inside line. It looks like the inside stacked up a bit more. Cody Erdman is now your new race leader up top, and he'll be coming right across the stripe. It's going to be now Erdman trying to make the move to fight for the race lead, and he's got his first big chance here. Another rookie looking to take to the top of the board. The sound of stock cars racing across the Daytona Beach is, of course, a sound unlike any other in stock car racing, and tonight we're getting to experience it firsthand. For the viewers coming in for the first time tonight, this is the first of 30 races this season in the Integrity Ignite Series. And if you like the action you're seeing right now, I'll tell you this much, we're only getting started, and we'll run through the schedule of all the races we have within the coming weeks before our first break of the season. After tonight, we'll be going to Fontana, California for the Auto Club Speedway, a 110-lap event there. It's going to come down to 220 great miles of racing in California before we head to Austin, Texas for the Circuit of the Americas, and that's going to be a 30-lap event March 4th. Nashville SuperSpeedway is going to be March 11th, 130 laps there. We saw a great race there last season, and Kentucky, which began the Alec Daffin dominant streak last season, which gave way to his championship run, well, now it's going to be very early in the championship hunt. It's March 18th. Twin Ring Motegi, it was a caution-free race there last year in the summer, and it's going to be now early on the schedule as well. March 25th, we head to Japan, so we've got ourselves a few international trips on the schedule, some road courses, and some big ovals alongside short tracks, intermediates, and anything in between. So if you like the action you're seeing right now, the Integrity Racing League is, of course, inviting you to join the fun. Matter of fact, if you want to join their Tuesday night series, the Integrity Octane Series, signups are still open. Check out the QR code on your screen right now to join the official FTN Discord server and get access to every league that we broadcast on this channel. If you want to join as a driver, that's the best place to go. These are leagues that are still accepting signups. So if you want to join the fun here on FTN, we'd love to have you. Check out the links in our description or scan the QR code as FTN continues to expand this 2024, and we're seeing some great racing right now. I'll tell you that much. Right now, it's going to be 30 laps in, make it 31. The Big Evil Designs 250 is now going on at first third conclusion, and keep this in mind, we do not have a stage break, we do have a stage lap. That's going to be lap 50, about halfway in, so we will see some drivers racing for bonus points tonight. It's going to be a big deal, of course, as the night goes on, for each and every one of these drivers to already keep tabs on the point system, because it's going to be full season, non-stop, from the get-go till the very end. Every race matters equally to gain that championship victory. So right now, for Chad Mikas and Cody Erdman, leading laps, getting bonus points, they already know what the assignment is at hand in front of them, and they're hoping to ace it tonight. Because if you win at Daytona, you have a good run at Daytona, not everyone gets that fortunate. And with so many drivers, someone's going to be on the other end losing a lot in the championship standings. You got a major chance to gain. There goes up to the top side Chris Gabone, the number 52. He'll be 3 wide with Vinny Tigner, and Vinny has made it up big. As a matter of fact, that number 12 machine, we notice him, he started just within the top 40th. He is up to 13th. Todd Thomas from 52nd up into 11th. He's gone from the last position on the grid to just outside the top 10. The most impressive run so far by a long shot, and he is just getting started. And as they come across the line yet again, going to be Mikas, Erdman, first and second still. Take a look, though. Forrest Smith is now going to be in the third position as he's right up top there, right beside Carter Casey. Smith has been making some big gains so far tonight. He kicked off the race in 11th, now up to third, and while he hasn't had to climb up all the way throughout the field, he's definitely been taking his time to get up to this point, and now with pit stop cycle just before us, you want to be in a great position to put yourself in the optimal spot for the rest of the race, because a green flag pit cycle, if all goes well, is really going to separate the field. We still have a majority of our drivers within about 5 seconds of our leader, 49 of which are within one, of course, lap, and they're all within 5 seconds of the man up in front, Cody Erdman. Sean Carmody's 1 lap down, but he's running with the draft. So that's important if we get a caution. He is, by all accounts, the man who will get the free pass tonight for the first time in this event if we were to have a yellow flag. And right now, though, Cody Erdman has the top spot with Chad Mikas then second, and they are putting themselves in a very good spot before we go down to pit road under green. Braxton DeWeese is making some big moves too, and now Braxton finds himself 5th from 23rd on the grid. One of the drivers doing double duty. He will be racing tomorrow night in the Integrity Octane Series. And you see him there representing Allen's Art Images. He's going to be now up inside of the top 5, and a matter of fact, up to 3rd and as high as 2nd as he goes right by the start-finish line. Best that Braxton has looked all night long. He was quick in his duels, not only in this event, but in the Octane Series duels as well, and he has the expertise to make it up here. The big trouble for him is that execution and getting to the very end. A lot of drivers struggle with that here at Daytona, and it comes as a given. The high-speed nature, sometimes you get yourself caught up in incidents, and with no fast repairs, there is no second chance. So for Braxton DeWeese, he's got speed. Keep an eye out for whether or not he can keep it there come lap 90, lap 95, because he's made it up from 23rd to 3rd here, and every driver in your podium, now a driver who started outside the top 10. Looks like slightly bobbled down for Forrest Smith, but he's going to stay straight here, and you can see a bit of a gap as Carter Casey lags back about a car length. Cody Griffin right there as well. You also see Thomas Bressi in the mix, and now the drivers are beginning to space out up in front, even a bit more so than usual, because we're now coming up on that pit cycle, and if you end up crammed, you're going to be in big trouble. Nobody has signaled that they're coming into pit road just yet. We're watching driver communications, and nobody's given the official signal to come in, so we'll see who kicks off the trend, who starts the fire, as when they come across the line yet again, nobody opts to make that move. From the front of the field onto the back, everyone stays on the track, and as we come closer and closer to that lap 40 marker, I expect to see some drivers go in. It's going to be a two-stop strategy the way things are looking. 40, 80, then you go to the end. That's the way drivers are going to be looking at it, at least right now. So if you get through this first pit stop well, you're going to set yourself up quite nicely. This is what separates the best from the rest. Who can handle going down a pit road under green? We saw some drivers making some mistakes on pit road tonight in the Daytona 500. One in particular can't happen with these Xfinity cars, but it was an interesting example nonetheless. Kyle Busch under yellow, not under green, had an issue when it came down to his left front tire. Since it's a one lug nut system in the next-gen Cup car, he actually had nothing holding his left front on, so he was grinding against the body of his number 8 stock car for about a lap under caution. Substantial trouble. Now, here on iRacing, you don't have to deal with your pit crew being at fault. It's all about how you approach it with the other drivers around you. You do not want to make contact with anyone. You don't want to go spinning in. That's something we saw in the Saturday Night Thunder event just a few weeks ago at Michigan. Two drivers came in sliding into pit road, and they ended up hitting each other in the chain reaction, which destroyed both their motors. That's a lap machine. That's Jay Aishman. They get by him pretty quickly, and he's going to get out of the way as he stays up top in the 06. Luckily, he does not get out of the way slowly, and it's going to be good enough for every driver to get by. Nice and smooth move there for the lapper as Jay Aishman continues to drop back. He's now next to Elliott Drummond. He's going to continue to slide back gently, and he'll hope to slot back in as the leading drivers get right by him. And all of a sudden, you're beginning to see drivers even in about the 25th indeed. That's the range we're looking at. Well, that's going to be Elliott Drummond. You see how they're becoming a more single file group here? They're getting set up as well. It's a different approach. You've had to be aggressive to make some moves up here to get even inside the top 20 for some drivers. It's been very tough for track position all night long, and with every position being fought for just about equally, if you cannot make your moves early, you get gridlock. You get really landlocked here, because if you're in the middle, you can't go down to the inside to try to escape something, and you find yourself at a loss. So now, from about 25th on back, they're single file, gearing up for what will be your first pit stop cycle of the day. 40 laps in out of 100. It's Braxton Deweese, who leads now over Shane Ewing, Chris Goubeau, and Forrest Smith. Then there's going to be Nicholas Cohan, and the AutoZone number 41 now is going to be inside the top 5. Cohan started in 49th and is your biggest mover right now. Kyle Trudell started in 51st, and we're getting a signal. That's going to be Chad Mikas. He signals he's coming down to pit road. Everyone's coming down to pit road. Signals are coming in a wildfire. Now it's time to see who makes it in first. Braxton Deweese has the opportunity this time by, and he will take to it. Pit road's going to get busy, and here they come. First group of the season, it's going to be Deweese, Shane Ewing, not to mention you're going to see Cody as well. That's going to be Erdman, then Chad Mikas, and as they all come in this time by, it's your first group on a pit road. No trouble for any of them, and they all make it in successfully. Trago is going to come in with his teammate. You're going to see also there's Vinny Tigner. There is going to be Brandon Bernhardt, and everyone's going to come through here. Now, you really want to keep an eye about who's the driver you're sharing a pit stall with tonight. About half the field is sharing their pit stall, so we do have to keep that in mind. If you go down to pit road with the driver you have to wait for, I'm not quite sure how iRacing is going to interpret that, because technically speaking, that is your pit stall, but we don't have enough for the 52 that registered tonight, so coming in this time by, second bunch looks to be not making its way through. We saw John Runkle, he gave the command and he made his way in, but pit road for the first time got busy and some drivers just got through. Now your second pack is on the way. Kyle Trudell from 51st on the board is your new race leader. Chris Goubeau is second, and John Pillion is now in third. Big changes so far as we're just getting underway with our first cycle of the night. And all of a sudden, we've now got to keep a watch as the next signals are coming through. John Pillion signals down to the inside line, so he's going to make it into the inside groove to get ready to go down and in. He knows he's set to go. Who else will come with them? That is the question. Chris Gabeau with the opportunity to drop in this time by. He'll take it, and another group comes in immediately. Pit road set to get even busier. Round 2 of pit stops. It's the big group here. Smoke show, but nobody makes contact. Look at how close they are coming in, and everyone files through at a speed of about 45 miles an hour. They get back up to 60, and now they're all coming in. One driver with trouble, that's Kohan. Otherwise, it's so close on there, but everyone makes it in quite nicely. So now we'll go back in front. Kyle Cooper is scored as your race leader, and it looks like 25 cars came in at the same time, whereas your race leader is now going to be scored, technically speaking, on pit road. Getting back on the way, leaders are going to be flying by here, and we're trying to take a look. There's Shane Ewing with Blake Gordon. He's going to loop up to the front of the board with Blake Gordon indeed, not to mention Braxton DeWeese and the number 77 right there with them. In addition, you see Erdman, you see Nick Tarba, and now here they come. Big group coming in, big group coming out, and they're all going to be neck and neck with each other as it's one line on the apron and one line on the racing surface. Now this is where we find out who gets out the quickest of all. Anthony DeBarro looks to have a good shot up in front. He's going to be right there with Kyle Trudell, but he's not quick enough. He's going about 160 miles an hour. The leaders are coming up on him at about 180. And although he has a slight advantage right now, we'll see how much longer that lasts. Because look right back, and it's a full steam train up top. And they're taking every driver by storm. High side is superior right now, and it looks like we're already seeing our bigger pack come back into formation. 45 laps in, and right now Kyle Trudell is caught up to everyone except the top two, and it looks like he's got himself right there with Anthony DeBarro. Kyle Cooper is going to do the work right now for that second pack, and right now indeed it's going to be the number 73 right there in the mix. You can also see Blake Gordon, Braxton Weiss, Alan Dobbs, Nick Tarbuck, Brad Patton, and we're coming up on that halfway marker as everyone gets together once again. And it looks like, with the exception of Nicholas Kohan, no driver having a major issue on pit road, and we stay green. That is a huge deal for the rest of this race, because that first pit cycle most often sets the tone for the rest of the night. So it's a fantastic job by all drivers to keep that from becoming a huge disaster, because some drivers not able to handle it. And with one of the biggest fields we've ever seen here on the iRacing platform, let alone the biggest we've ever seen on FTN, it's a very tricky job for every driver. It looks like they complete the task and they stay clean up in front. Neck and neck once again. Braxton DeWeese finds himself now as a new race leader. He's got Nick Tarbuck right there with them, Anthony DeBarro and Brad Patton. 45 laps in. Looks like DeWeese is going to drop down low as they're set to catch right back up to Chris Gabeau. Chris is going to be a lapper now, so it looks like he lost the draft as well, and that's going to set his race back big time, as now we will have a race for that lap dog, of course, the lucky dog. If you're a lap machine, you'll be eligible to get a free pass if you are the highest up driver who is at least one lap down. So say there's 3 drivers who are 1 lap down. If you're a higher position than the other 2, you got the free pass to get back on the lead lap, and you'll be back with the drivers who are racing competitively for the win. But that's going to be a battle in its own right, so keep an eye on that as the race goes on. Braxton DeWeese, and he leads the battle of all battles. He's got the race lead, and taking a look now from the quarter panel perspective of the number 13. Braxton drops down to the bottom side there on Anthony DeBarro, and right now it looks like it's going to be total control on that bottom side. It's going to be the Ford Mustang making it to the bottom. We got a bow tie up top, and Nick Tarbuck now looking for the race lead for the first time all night long. He's now got the opportunity to take it up top, and he has the race lead. Nick Tarbuck, one of the more successful drivers last year in 2023. We saw successes from him in both the Ignite and Octane series, and once again he returns to the track in his number 29 certified service Chevy Camaro. So he's now got the lead for at least a back straightaway there. We'll see if he leads a lap or two, and he's got that clean air. which is a major deal at Daytona. Getting the opportunity up in front. You see him there with, of course, DeBarro, Trudell, Brad Patton. He's now getting to experience what it's like to be up in front, and it's a completely different experience when you don't have to worry about the drivers you were in the middle of. However, now it's about communication. What can you do to keep that second driver behind you as opposed to trying to take that spot? You do want to make sure you understand the intentions of the guys you're working with here. Don't want to be thrown for a loop. Daytona is all about communication. That's something we also saw earlier tonight with Ryan Blaney and Austin Cindric. They're teammates in the Daytona 500, working for Team Penske, and the final lap of Stage 2, they had a very tricky moment coming out of Turn 4 and almost wrecked each other, but they kept it clean, and it was eventually Ryan Blaney who got the stage win. It's the number 12 in this race, Vinny Tigner, who goes one lap down, so not as much luck right now for his virtual counterpart in that number 4 Mustang, the number 12. He finds himself now dropping back further. As you can see, it's a very close fit right by John Pillion. They're going to squeeze Elliott Drummond up top, and you can also see Carter Casey right there. Very tight right now between all of these drivers, and we'll see how long they can keep that going as we ride on board now with the number 46. He's going to be looking at the back bumper of Elliott Drummond. Now he goes up top again and is hoping to work with Thomas Bressie. He wiggled just a bit, but that didn't look to be anything major. Coming across the stripe, Braxton Deweese with the race lead as we head now to lap number 50. It's going to be Deweese at the stripe, and there we have it. Braxton, he's going to have it at the top of the board as we hit the halfway marker. Ty Smith for the Highline Racing League, rooting for Swamp Motorsports. We got some Highline rep in the field tonight. We saw DJ Stagner and Ryan Potter, both of which are set to run well if they can get up in front, as we do have some trouble on the apron here, and it looks like this could be a yellow flag. What's the call? Nothing. Everyone keeps going. Adam Wood looks to be involved with Boomer Logan, and we're going to take a look back here because we see trouble for the first time tonight, and at the halfway marker, that was a very close call. Take a look one more time. And you can see there, one driver, Bobby Terrell, shot down to the bottom. Now we're watching with Brad Wren, and Boomer Logan looks to have dropped down as well. Luckily, all stays together, and we will keep on going. 51 laps in. That's a very close call by all means. We're still good to go as we come down to our second half of the racing here in Daytona. The camera will rattle as Braxton Deweese is your leader at halfway, and they're 3 wide with the lap machine. Contact, but they're going to keep it straight again. That's how close they're getting, and now they're really scaring each other. One driver going to go down to the inside. That's Carter Casey, and we got trouble. Is the call to get a caution? We're going to find out. No yellow flag. Casey goes down to the bottom. It looks like he takes another with them, and that was John Runkle. Another incident, and now these drivers are really driving antsy. It's the Route 66 00 who gets caught in it, and you'll see looks like Carter Casey and Don Runkle made contact there as they got out of the fallout of the turn incident, and then they slid, and so be it. Another incident, but luckily nothing major. We stay green. However close it was, and I'm not sure these drivers are going to be happy about that. Yellow flag, not going to fly, as we take it back in front live on FTN. Very close up in front of the field, nearly some cautions, and we're going to once again look at the top of the board. 49 laps to go this time by. It's going to be Chad Mikas leading the way as it stands, and right now he's going to drop back a bit further. As you see there, Nick Tarbuck now at the top of the board. Braxton Deweese got the halfway bonus points as a result of leading the lap number 50. Just like that, he has some bonus points to help him in the championship standings as he continues to lead the way. 50 laps in right now. We have not mentioned our great partners at Next Level Racing all night long. Unfortunately, we really haven't caught a glance at Cody Smith all throughout the night, but there he is in his number 18, so let's talk about it. Next Level Racing provides high-quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who deserve nothing but the best. Cautioned out, we're going to find out what happened here. Looks to be the back of the field, and we have some trouble. Looking back at what happened, they're coming into a smoke show in the middle of the pack, and we're trying to take a look. This happened perhaps here with Forrest Smith. We're going to take a look back, and the yellow flag will fly. We went half the race without a caution, but we look to get closer every lap, and there you have it. Caution is out. So here we go. Looks like it starts with Filarski, Chuck Sweeting, Brad Wren, and Forrest Smith too. So the backfield runners, they got involved, and the caution is out as a result. 47 laps to go, and we've got ourselves trouble. Yellow flags out after a great 52-lap opening stint. And now, back to square one. Expect one or two more stops at the very most as the race goes on. We've made it past the first half, so I don't know whether or not some drivers will try to wait for their pit stop or if we'll see drivers come in right now. Whatever the case, we're going to be right back after the following messages here from Next Level Racing, providing high-quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers since 2009. Visit nextlevelracing.com for more information as we will return after the following message. You're watching the Big Evil Designs 200 exclusively on FTN. Pit road is busy, and just like that, most drivers are going to make it in. It's a huge cycle in and out, and it looks like your new race leader, we're going to find out who that is right now. It's a huge cycle off, and we're still trying to get the overall result. It looks like Anthony DeBarro will be your new winner off of pit road, and he's going to be able to take himself to the race lead after our first cycle of the day. This is the Daytona International Speedway. Welcome back to the Big Evil Designs 250 at 250-mile, 100-lap race, which is seeing its first caution of the day. DeBarro leads. Kyle Trudell is in second. And third place, as it stands, is Nick Tarbuck. It's going to be fourth place, Alan Dobbs. And to round out the top five, Elliott Drummond. And then sixth place is Shane Ewing. As it stands, top 10 is going to be concluded by Braxton Deweese, Timothy Johnston, Thomas Bressie, and Chad Mikas. So it's going to be Braxton Deweese with the bonus points winning the stage tonight. He's got those points locked up no matter what happens. So even if he does fall further back down, he's got an opportunity to put that buffer between himself and the guys who end up running up front regardless. So he's got a bit of an advantage in terms of where he finishes tonight. Bonus points to Braxton, and their top 10 from that 50th lap also going to get at least one bonus point as a result. At the same time, DeBarro, Trudell, Nick Tarbuck, and Alan Dobbs, 1, 2, 3, 4. Elliott Drummond in fifth, and right now, only one rookie inside of that top five. As it looks like a few drivers once again drop down and in. You see him make through. There's Drummond, and in addition, Alan Dobbs. It looks like Bressie, Chad Mikas, Rob Ackley. So another driver cycle in, and DeBarro's going to maintain himself on the outside line. Nope, he'll go down to the bottom, and he'll give Trudell that top spot. Anthony DeBarro on the bottom of this one here tonight. 45 laps to go. We're coming to our first restart, and we've gone pretty deep to get to this point already. DeBarro, he's a multi-time winner in this series, and he knows what it takes to win in the clutch. His first career Ignite Series victory came in the season finale of our very first season at Charlotte in a 300-mile race. The dominant man in the race that only had one caution as well. He got through, took the checker flag as DJ Stagner won the championship. And speaking of Stagner, it looks like Swap Motorsports, the team is back together, and right now it's going to be Stagner running 11th, and Ryan Potter rather in 11th. It's Stagner right behind in 12th. So the teammates are running close to each other. found their way to be just beside each other after all. So they've got a big opportunity here. Potter started in 44th, whereas DJ Stagner, he started in 6th. So a big difference, but they found each other after all, and they're now hoping to work with each other until the very end. 45 laps to go. Tabarro, Kyle Trudell, Nick Tarbuck, Shane Ewing, Braxton Deweese, and that is your top 5 coming through for the first restart of the day. iRacing official pace cars set to drop in this time by, and it's going to be this time Tabarro with the opportunity to lead the field back to green. An exciting opportunity for this number 27 crew as they're set to bring us back to the green flag for the first time tonight. It's a restart here in the Ignite Series. Here we go again through the Geico restart zone. It's going to be 2 Toyotas up in front, and Tabarro's got the race lead. Off of the back straightaway, big divide after about the top 15. You look back to guys like Miller, and he's going to be the final driver, really connected. Then there's Bresci and such, but you see that single file cut down to guys like Bernhardt, Stevenson, Cody Smith, Tim Rogers, and such. And now these drivers are lying back big as Nick Tarbuck leads the way at the top of the board. Now it's going to be Tarbuck making his move to take the race lead. One driver who fell back big, it was Elliott Drummond who was up there. Now you also see Kyle Trudell who fell. Now it's going to be Kyle into the 5th position as he's going to stay in the top 5, but no longer have that opportunity to lead the way, at least for now. You'll see the skid marks from our previous incidents. The first caution of the day happening at lap 53. We're at 58 right now. As we get back into it, you'll see a bit of a divide on the outside line here, and DJ Stagner has a lot of room to make up if he wants to, and it looks like he's taking that opportunity, and he's taking it with pleasure. At about 195 miles an hour, he enters turn 3, drops down to about 190 right now. And he's making moves to get back up to the front of this field. So he by no means is going to let this opportunity slide, trying to take himself up to what would be about the 8th position. And now Stagner going to be right behind the number 93 of Travis McQuistion, right beside Blake Gordon, and he's getting close here as we come down this time through to lap number 60. Nick Tarbuck has that race lead. Tabarro going to be 2nd, and it's going to be John Pillion then in 3rd. Braxton Deweese is 4th position, and as they come through yet again, you can see the sun starting to set. Track conditions are changing even still, and this time around, it's going to be, I think, in the opposite direction, and that it is. Track temperature now going to be about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, so the initial trend of slightly rising temperatures is no more. We're going back down, 75 Fahrenheit on the track, 66 in the air, and it means now, of course, that track temperature going to drop, the grip is going to increase, and these drivers are going to have a different feeling inside of the cockpit. And while it might not be a major visible change for now, they're definitely going to experience it as the race goes on, and it's going to impact what these drivers decide in regards to strategy. Everyone has one more pit stop to go, just about no matter what here, so I think that's going to be an important thing to keep in mind. This race is not over in terms of pit stop strategy. I think the strategy right now is going to be all about survival, at least for the time being. How about we ride on board with the driver of the number 13, Braxton Deweese, as he's going to now be the pusher for Anthony Tabarro. riding on board right now with the number 13 machine. You'll see Braxton Weiss still getting to work here as he continues to fight inside of the top 5. Reloading an overlay system right now as we try to get back to the action live on FTN. There's quite a lot of ways to go. We want to make sure our timing system is as accurate as possible for the remainder of this race. And as it stands, it's going to be Weiss right now running scored in 3rd. He'll drop back just a bit as the drivers remain side by side as we come down the super stretch here at Daytona. It's still Nick Tarbuck and Anthony DeBarro working with each other 1st and 2nd. 3rd place is going to be John Pillion once again. Looks like John has held up nicely, especially with a bit of a rebound here due to our pitch strategy, helping him out big time to return to the top of the board. And you can see him there just within the confines of the podium, running very nicely so far. So he's going to stay calm and stay in the 2nd row. Great place to be as the drivers fly past the start-finish line. And they're coming alive here in Daytona yet again. So as we return to our coverage here after the green flag got back in the air, this stint has been somewhat calmer. At least for now. Double file, no signs of drivers taking it 3 wide, and I think drivers are already learning that lesson. Even though it hasn't been a very chaotic race overall, you don't want to replicate the troubles we saw previously. Right now, stay calm and stay consistent. That is the move, at least for the time being. Nick Tarbuck right now is going to lead the way, and he's hoping to keep himself up there 63 laps into the 100, and as it stands, 38 laps to go. Double file from then on back. How about we take a look further for the drivers who we might not take a look at all too often for the rest of this race. You see there Brian McFerrin, who will be running currently in 40th. As it stands, 46 drivers remain on the lead lap. That's more than any field we had last season at all. And we still have a total of 50 drivers racing, going back to Chuck Sweeting, who is 3 laps down as it stands. So a majority of our field is still going despite all that's happened in this race, and nobody looks to be quitting. We saw the troubles for Stephen Wetton and Alan Rawell. They got involved with each other very early, and that all but took out their chances for having a successful race. Rest of the field, not so much. They've done a very good job of keeping clean for the most part, and our caution was minor given the fact that we have so many drivers and only about 5 of which got involved in total. As it stands, still double file here. DJ Stagner going to be side by side by Travis McQuistion's side now. And Travis, who we said before has won at Daytona in this league, is making some big moves up in front to show that he's got the shot to go and get this race win all on his own accord. All of a sudden right now, Travis McQuistion inside of the top 10. Haven't mentioned him up front all throughout this race, at least so far, but he's running in the 7th position, the best that he's been in all night long. Travis started in 19th tonight, and right now runs right behind Kyle Trudell. Trudell started in 51st, and he's definitely had to make it up a higher amount of positions, but for Travis McQuistion, he's been much less aggressive overall, just letting the race come to him, and now, in the later stages, it looks like he's done just that very well. Looks like things are starting to come his way. Bobby Jarrell disconnects from the session. Looks like he has some trouble and might have to park it for the night. And right now, very few drivers that have had to do so, but Bobby Jarrell going to join that list after damages following that most recent incident. Lappers are coming up on the field very soon, and it looks like those will be Kyle Cooper, who's already with the field. We see Chris Gabeau, but further out in the frame, I think we have more drivers who are 1 lap down approaching, so Braxton Weiss and company will have to decide how to deal with them as the time comes. At the stripe yet again, 35 laps to go, make it only 34, and DeWeese is still the leader. DeBarro remains up top, and Matthew Thunhorst nowhere to be seen right now. However, for another driver we saw competitive last season, Nick Tarbuck. Matthew Thunhorst, as a matter of fact, has made big moves though. He's in 14th, might not be in the leading frame, but from 34th up, he's done a very, very solid job of making those positions as he sees fit. So Thunhorst, knowing he doesn't want to get caught up in the big one, a bit more methodical about the moves he's made, and he's let the race come to him in a similar fashion as Travis and McQuistion, having to make it up a bit further though, so he's played the best of both routes, aggression and a bit of a more calm, meticulous strategy, and as such, he's running very well so far, holding his own. It was now in the 15th spot, runs right ahead of Brandon Bernhardt, Ryan Potter, Jacob Fife, Cody Griffin, all very, very reputable drivers in this series who have ran well to this point and have given us no reason to believe they're going to have troubles, at least for the time being. 33 laps to go this time by, on to the final third. And it's coming down to the end of this one. You see some sparks flying on the screen, but we don't see the driver. That is Stephen Wetton. Wetton, who was oh so quick in group practice earlier today. It looks like he's having some troubles in the race, and he will have to go down to the apron once again. So it's going to be some troubles continuously there for the driver, the number 10. And Stephen Wetton really not having a day to remember, despite the speed we definitely saw him have. 3 wide, once again. John Pillion's now going to take it up top, and there he goes in the number 46. He's going to catch up to Chuck Sweeting, though, and he's going to get shot back big time. Nothing more Sweeting can do. He dedicated himself to the top side, but John not going to be happy about that one. He drops down quick, gets with Carter Casey, and he has to put himself in the recovery line immediately. He had a shot to maybe fight for that top 5, but he drops down to 12th as a result, and he immediately is going to come out like a slingshot and try to work that side draft once again. John Pillion goes back at it once more, and the 46 is not done trying. Take a look at how quickly he utilizes that side draft to get within arm's reach of the number 84, Kyle Trudell. He's going to be able to make it back up there, and at the stripe, he will be scored in about the 6th place. Even despite that setback, he's quick, and it's clearly not holding back right now. No restraint for that number 46 and John Pillion, and it looks like he's going to try to continue to go all out for now, and he's going to have some consequences. Contact there with Kyle Trudell. They all slow down. Bernhardt's in the wall. We got trouble. Yellow flag is due to fly, and it will be spinning, and the caution is out. 31 laps to go, and there's the trouble. It looks like John Pillion tries to get in the mix, making some moves, and the yellow flag is out. Just like that. Aggression with 31 laps remaining, and the yellow flag flies yet again. Here's an instant replay. We'll show you just what happened. So take a look at this here. This is not where it started. This is just where it happened to end up. Pillion gets very loose, and he gets right by Carter Casey. Then Jacob Fife stacks up. That's going to get Brandon Bernhardt involved. Looks like Nicholas Cohan's right there. Forrest Smith, the number 1 machine, goes right there sliding. Brandon Kirkman, Chuck Sweeting, and just like that, it's going to be a huge incident for a lot of these drivers. You see them all fly by. Alan Dobbs gets through. Kirkman's destroyed. Chuck Sweeting gets by. John Pillion has damage. Vinny Tigner makes some moves up, and the pace car is back out on the track. Yellow flag is out for the 2nd time tonight with 30 laps to go, and as we come back to the action live on FTN, trouble, it brews, but we're not done yet. Nick Tarba is your race leader. DJ Stagner is 2nd, and one driver that made some big moves as a result of that one. As you saw right through the frame, we did see that Vinny Tigner machine, it looks like, mainly get through. In addition, Shane Ewing now going to be in 11th, Timothy Johnston 12th, Carter Casey is in 13th. And as you look further and further back, you'll see the drivers who survived and those who didn't. Neil Froelich got involved, but looks to be mostly fine. Nicholas Cohan, same goes for him, and same goes as well for Trevor Trago, Forrest Smith, and it's time to see pit road get a bit busier once again. Looking further back to about the 35th position, Cody Smith right now from Next Level Racing, running 35th spot, but he's still got a ways to go. And once again, Next Level Racing provides high quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who deserve nothing but the best. Visit nextlevelracing.com for more information after tonight's broadcast and support the official premier partner of Next Level Racing. We'll be right back after the following message. You're watching live on FTN, the Integrity Ignite series, brought to you by Next Level Racing. 29 laps remaining. This time through, it's going to be DJ Stagner, your race leader, and he's at the top of the board right now with Carter Casey and Ryan Potter. The reason being they did not go down a pit road. Most of the remainder of the field did. Travis McQuistion wins off of pit road. He is currently running in 8th. As a matter of fact, 7 drivers remained out, and we'll take a look at their names in order. DJ Stagner leads from Carter Casey. Ryan Potter is going to be 3rd. Adam Wood is in 4th. Sebastian Miller is in 5th. Rob Ackley is in 6th. Justin Trombley is in 7th. And then you'll go back, and Cody Smith, despite the fact not being with them, is actually out as well. He looks to have stayed on the track and runs in 11th. So just like that, he gets back on the way. I think what happened is he actually stayed on the same set of tire, and he's now mixed up with those who went down for full service. Going to gain him some time, and we'll see whether or not it's worth it here as Brandon Bernhardt, Brandon Kirkman get a disconnect. Some trouble for them. 28 laps to go, coming down to 27. The sun shines yet again in Daytona, and now we're on for what will be our second restart. DJ Stagner and Swamp Motorsports are up in front, and for the first time all night long, they've got control of this race. Stagner is a threat here in this circuit, and he's now got drivers to work with. So we're going to find out whether or not DJ can hang on any longer. Fair possibility he does. And I think right now for the number 64 Raging Cajun team, this is the big test of what they've got in store for the rest of the field. They've been lying back for nearly 75 laps, and now we see Stagner up at the front. Can he make of what we know he has, the talent to win here? We're going to find out momentarily. Coming through, this time by 28 laps to go down the back straightaway. It's going to become a 27-lap dash from this point onward. Only 2 cautions to this point, and it's remained a largely clean race. We're going to find out right now if it stays that way. Stagner and Carter Casey in control. The man who started in 2nd is still the runner-up driver, and we'll find out whether or not he is the bridesmaid's finisher when all is said and done. Ty Smith, well, he's talking about Ryan Potter's car, so we'll take a good look at it. And as you see right now for Ryan Potter and the number 99, try to get a big camera angle on it here. And now let's take a zoom in and find out what's going on there, as it looks like he's got Cat's Meow as a sponsored night, and you can see there in that number 99, Ryan Potter, the all pink, black, white Cat's Meow 99. There he is. Going to be a bit of an obstruction there through the buildings, but pretty clear as we look at our overall fan cam from the perspective of the drivers. Of course, no, it's not. It's from the fans in the stands. They're coming through this time by, and it's Swamp Motorsports lined up on the inside line, and they've got total team control. Pace car is down and in this time by with DJ Stagner leading the way. Green flag is out with 27 laps to go, and we are back on the move. Right now, as they come down the back straightaway, inside line is going to be advantageous. It's going to be the Raging Cajun 64, DJ Stagner, leading the way. He's got his teammate working with him nicely to get that breakout going. Sebastian Miller is now going to be right there in 3rd. He makes a big move up there, just like that, of your top 3, 2 of which started within the top 40. That's going to be refreshed right now. We'll see whether or not that stays the same. Carter Casey, Justin Trombley, Rob Ackley, all working with each other, and a lot of drivers we haven't seen throughout the night have made their way up in front. Adam Wood, Anthony DeBarro, you see there, Thomas Bressie still in the mix. In addition, Blake Gordon, all working very strong up in the front of the field. The Rayovac 32 of Shane Ewing, Braxton Weiss, Thomas Bressie is going to be right there with Timothy Johnston, and Gael Brooks is also here, and now they're all coming together. The top 20 is a cluster separate by less than a second, and now they've got trouble. It's going to be a slide down for Gael Brooks. Does he save it? That's the question, and it looks like he does. Everyone else keeps on going here. That could have been very, very bad. 26 laps to go. And my oh my, could that have been a disaster? Everyone keeps on going. Gael Brooks gets in the mix with Trevor Trago, and that might have changed the entire race, because you see now there's a substantial gap and very few drivers remain with your leading man. of Ryan Potter and company. DJ Stagner, Carter, Casey are still holding their own as the leaders of these lines. Now the gap, it has been formed. It's big. I don't know if anyone else can get that line back up there. The second group is truly far out, and it's going to be troublesome for them as the race goes on to work it out. Time's going to keep on going here for each and every one of those guys. You got to figure out what can you do to maybe make it back. Great save from everyone, but it's going to cost them a lot of time as we come through this time by with what's going to be a total of only 24 laps to go. DJ Stagner has the lead even still. He's going to be working neck and neck with Carter Casey as they run side by side. 3 wide now for the race lead, and it's going to be the closest game you've seen of inches all night long. The leaders going 3 abreast. Look further back, you got second, third, fourth. The battles are separated by fractions of inches. Adam Wood now going to be pushing Carter Casey. Anthony DeBarro is now going to be the man pushing and shoving right up top. He's got Braxton DeWeese, and Braxton goes down to the middle, gets blocked once, gets blocked twice. He keeps it together, but man, oh man, wasn't that a close one. How about that? They stay clean, and at the stripe, they're hoping to keep it together yet again. Now it's going to be 23 laps to go, and it's going to be Carter Casey up in front. Casey takes it back up to the race lead here with 23 laps remaining. As it stands, it's going to be now Casey working the bottom side. Another big shift. And as they come through across the stripe yet again, DeWeese gets it up top. The middle group is going to be Anthony DeBarro. And it looks like all over again. They are dead even. Just about every row. With 23 laps to go this time by, we will crank it up with the best cameras on iRacing with 22 laps remaining. TrackCams22.com. For more information, visit Facebook.com/TrackCams or TrackCams22.com for over 100 car and track combinations. The best cameras on iRacing. Track Cams for gourmets. We'll be right back after this. Crank it up with 22 laps to remain. It's all on FTN tonight, and you're watching the Big Evil Designs 200. Let's crank it up from Daytona. The yellow flag is already out. We will push our crank it up back. We've got ourselves trouble on the racetrack. You saw it there. Guile Brooks and company are going to get involved. Crank it up is going to be pushed back slightly here as we will bring you an instant replay on the matter. Yellow flag is out, and we saw Guile Brooks drop back big as a result. And now we're going to take a look one lap back to the incident at hand. Instant replay on the matter, and we'll go to show you what just happened as you see him come across the line. This is the replay, and it's going to show you all that caused it. You see the number 71 machine there, Forrest Smith in the mix as well, and number 48 also right there in Tim Rogers, and it happens here in about the upper middle portion of the pack. You'll see it's also Alan Dobbs, and it looks like as they come through turns 3 and 4, that's where things truly get dicey. Working off the back straightaway, you got Guile Brooks and Forrest Smith with one another, and you'll see drivers coming through the grass with smoke and such, and it looks like it's also going to have Ryan Potter in the mix, so we'll take a look right there at Potter. You saw him get involved big time and lose just about every spot he had, so we'll take that look back. Ryan Potter, number 99 machine, he looks to be setting himself back down a pit road after that one. Here's a look back one more time with the number 99 machine as we'll catch a glance from his perspective. So Potter right now going to be in the mix here with the bulk of the field. He's right behind his teammate and DJ Stagner, but it looks like he got shot with some contact that sent him down to the grass, and that's where things get very, very dicey. Coming through down the back straightaway, and then contact from Sean Carmody sends him right in, and as he spins down, the yellow flag is called. Carmody gets the bulk of the damage, and it looks like he's going to get away. Ryan Potter does, with not much else. Yellow flag's going to fly regardless, so it's going to be a saving grace either way, and with the cost caution out, we have ourselves another chance to regroup, and if there's any other pit stops remaining, they're going to come just about here and now. Looking right now, that's going to be Ryan Potter. He made it down to pit road, and you can see another driver come in John Pillion, saving, of course, the same pit stall for both drivers. Up in front again, Chad Mikus, your race leader, 81 laps in. So all of a sudden, we made it down with 20 laps to go. It could be the final stretch of this race. And your pole sitter is once again back in front. A driver who, of course, has seen it all to this point, starting this race up in front, led the first 20, 30 laps quite easily, was up there for the first 50, and had a bit of a quiet portion since then. Now, once again on top of the board, and he started there, so from all drivers of this field, I think Chad Mikus knows a thing or two about what it would take to win here in Daytona. I'll tell you this much. As it stands, it's going to be he, Braxton Weiss, and Cody Griffin, first, second, and third. Then you'll see Anthony DeBarro there in the fourth spot, and Blake Gordon is going to be in sixth. Thomas Bressy's the man that rounds out the top five, and he puts himself there nicely in the number 24 machine, holding on and keeping it solid as they come down to the last leg of this race. I think we're set to go one lap to green this time by as more and more drivers come in. A lot of guys opting to come down to pit road yet again. You see some of those who had damage made their way through. Brian McFerrin's going to be now in 37th. Ryan Potter and Cal Filarski definitely just went in. And as it stands, a few drivers chose to, a majority did not. Two-stop strategy still seems to be the move as we come back now with 19 laps remaining. It's Chad Mikus, Braxton Weiss, and Cody Griffin. First, second, and third as they make their way through this time by. Now, once again, we're going to get a chance at cranking it up here with 20-odd laps to go. It's no longer. It'll be 18 laps left, so we're going to get loud here in the coming laps. TrackCams22.com provides high-quality iRacing cameras. Matter of fact, best on the market. Over 100 tracking card combinations available for all iRacing users, and if you want to sign up for their subscriptions, they've got oval packages, they've got dirt packages, they've got road packages, and they got just about every tracking card you can ask for. Contact TrackCams22.com for more information or visit Facebook.com/TrackCams to get yourself the best cameras in the iRacing market. If you're a broadcaster, a sim racing photographer, or you want to up your replay game, check out TrackCams22.com. We've been using them since 2022, the highest quality track combos on the market for all your camera needs, and we're proud to once again crank it up, this time by with what will be 18 laps to go. Green flag is out here from Daytona. Chad Mikus and Braxton Weiss, your front row for this restart, the third of the day. Seen a few more in the past few laps, and we'll see if that continues as a trend till the very end. Pace car is set to let loose this time by, and the drivers are going to get back to work, cranking it up this time through. We'll let them grab the gear and get things rolling. Mikus will be the man to lead us in. The pace car is set to drop down, and here we go again. Restart number 3. Chad Mikus is on the way, and the green flag's out once more. Back on the move with 18 laps to go. And a huge yellow and some server issues at the same time. I'm not quite sure if they came together and caused it. But in one moment, everyone just went around, and I don't know if that's on our end or if that's on the server side. Caution's out. We got guys blinking all over. And it is trouble with 14 laps to go. That is a shocker. Don't quite know what the case is here, but the yellow flag is out either way. And it looks to happen in the blink of an eye here, and you can see we got some trouble looking at the drivers. So we're going to find out what caused that as drivers fly by. And we saw them running clean. They disappeared from our frame, and it's a big one. Stagner's destroyed, blown up. And this is huge. Yellow flag is out, and you saw them not only go into a shower of sparks, but a shower of blinking back and forth. We appear to have full connection once again, so all is well in that regard. However, that's big trouble, and we can see it there. Looking once again at our leader, and Chad Mikas and Braxton Deweese. Unfortunately, I don't think I can pull up a full replay of what just happened, given the fact that the server just went berserk at the same time. Yellow flag's out. We're going to give it an attempt regardless. Let's find out what happened here, because I don't think it's a good thing to leave us, of course, on an open-ended story. There's something clearly that happened, so let's take a look back. A shower of sparks and a shower of blinking drivers, but we're taking a look back and finding out just what happened here on FTN. Here's the instant replay. Let's go find out, because Stagner's destroyed, and you saw him there. Saw the blinking at that point, and it looks like they all came apart through the corner here. You can see it's a bit stuttery as we go around, and you'll see there what happened was something out of our view, and then they stuttered in, and trying to look back just gives us a mess here. So we see the smoke, we see Fife, we see Schaub, we see Kyle Cooper, we see Todd Thomas, we see Boomer Logan, we see Shane Ewing, we see Blake Gordon, we see Brad Wren, Jay Haishman also involved, and it's a who's who of drivers in this field. That's why we had so much trouble with so many people flickering in and out of the frame. I mean, Todd Thomas is like a ghost here. We see there's the 86 machine coming right by at the same time. This is still a replay, mind you. We do not have troubles right now in the server, but it was risky now. And I think for every driver, when so many come together, that's exactly how it goes. And just in one foul swoop, we got major issues as we come around yet again. All appears to be well for the majority of the drivers up in front. And take a look at who's up in front indeed. Cody Smith now going to make some big moves up. He's in 5th, but it's Braxton Deweese with the lead now with 13 laps to go. And since we have just enough time, we're going to squeeze in our final promotional break of the night. Next Level Racing provides high-quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who deserve nothing but the best. Visit nextlevelracing.com for more information, and we'll bring it back after our final promotional break of the day. Coming up now, this time by on lap number 89, we'll come back with 11 laps to go with our next restart here in the Integrity Ignite series. And returning this time through, we do have Braxton Deweese as our leader, and we're seeing some imminent flickering. So keep that in mind. We are coming to very, very close to our limits here, and I think that's largely because of how many drivers there are on the track. So keep that in mind. We are getting very, very close to maybe wit's end here at the FTN studios, but we're going to bring you all the coverage we have and then some. Luckily, we got some backup computers in the room, so we do have something in case there's a bit of a fallback, and of course, driver perspectives, which we're keeping an eye on right now. However, it looks like all is well to bring you the rest of the racing. We only stopped blinking during commercial, and now we're back once again. Live on FTN, you're watching as Braxton Deweese leads the way over Chad Mikas. Cody Griffin is going to be right there in the 3rd spot, and Cody Smith is there in 4th. This is the Big Evil Designs 250, and we are 89 laps in out of 100. You take a look at the field here, and by no means have these drivers stopped trying. I think right now they're pushing even harder, and you got to. I mean, we still have a total of 40 drivers on the lead lap, so we've lost 12 in terms of those who are not on the lead lap anymore, but at the same time, that is a huge field to go against even still. If you're as far back as, right now it is Sebastian Miller, the final driver on the lead lap, Shane Ewing as well. If you're here in 40th, you got to keep on trucking because this race is far from over here, and you got a lot of drivers to work with. That was an odd move there. Nick Cohan swerves right by, and just like that, we got ourselves a caution, giving way to a restart. Coming through this time by, we're going to do it once again. Braxton Weiss is your race leader. It is Chad Mike is second, and third is Cody Griffin. Thomas Bresci is going to be in fourth, and Cody Smith is in fifth. Got the Codys up in front once again, and Cody Erdman's in 12th. If we're keeping an eye on the Codys tonight, we got 3 of them, and it looks like 2 are inside of that top 5. Green flags out yet again with 11 laps remaining. Braxton gets a very nice jump there. That gives him the advantage, and we're back on the move once again. And as they get things going, 11 laps to go, we're seeing that yellow flag signal again. It's another huge wreck, and you can see how we're having trouble even watching these wrecks at this point. Caution is out once more, and it's going to be Cal Filarski, Nick Cohan, Gael Brooks, and as soon as these cautions are coming out, we just go berserk in the studio here. Wow. It's another one, and as soon as it happens, we almost lose the feed entirely. Now, I apologize about that one because it looks like it's out of nowhere. We just can't even see these cautions. They're getting big and they're getting nasty. You can see how bad it is for Gael Brooks. You also see how Nicholas Cohan got a piece. You see the huge damage for a driver such as Boomer Logan, Kyle Cooper, John Pillion gets a piece as well, Cal Filarski again, Andrew Schaub, and again Brad Wren, Shane Ewing there, and Chuck Sweeting. And this is not a replay, mind you. It's another incident with a lot of the same drivers. And the caution is out once more with 10 laps to go. The cautions are really getting nasty now. And it's another example, as with 10 laps remaining, we have once again brought ourselves back under pacing here. So we are going to go back at it again. Looked like it was an early push into the corner, which gave way to some pushing and shoving, and we've once again tossed and turned our order. 2 drivers are going to have to come in. Brad Wren looks to be entirely destroyed here. Don't think there's anything going, and it's becoming a real big mess here. That's the biggest wreck of the night, if not the previous one was, and they've come very recently. Back-to-back cautions for the first time today, and pit road is nasty indeed. You'll see Wren make it in. You see there Kyle Cooper. There's Shane Ewing coming in with a damaged hood, and the right front seems to be popped off as well. So it looks like clouded in, of course, the mistakes being made and the confusion of the drivers on our side. This race is going to come down to the single digits in terms of laps, and we're coming down to a final shootout to remember. It's going to be Braxton Weiss and your pole sitter, Chad Mikas, still first and second. After all that we've seen tonight, they're still working up in front and hold the top 2 spots. DeWeese first, Micah second, Cody Griffin third, Thomas Racing in fourth, and Cody Smith there in fifth. Kyle Trudell from 51st is in sixth, and seventh place is Adam Wood, Vinny Tigner, Timothy Johnston, Travis McQuistion. They're your top 10 as it stands. Tell you this much, for all you who are watching live on FTN right now, if you got a favorite driver, be sure to let us know in the chat room, because this is what it all comes down to, the final 9 laps. Braxton Weiss seems to be the fan favorite in the chat. If you've got other drivers you're looking to pull for tonight, be sure to let us know, as we're set to enter the final stretch. Mikas is also in the mix. He's been there since the beginning as your pole sitter. Cody Griffin, he's been quiet, but he's been in the top 10 all night long. Thomas Bresci started in third. He's in fourth right now. He's right behind where he started. 33rd is where Cody Smith began in his next level racing Chevrolet. He won the Octane Series last year, and he has a chance to go and make it a second win in a different series at the World Center of Racing. Kyle Trudell started in 51st, and he's put on one hell of a show. I'll tell you this much. If he goes from second to last, to first. It's going to be a huge deal for the second-year driver in that number 84. Nicholas Ward in the chat room, and he's saying he's excited for tomorrow. Keep in mind, we've got another race coming. It's going to be the Octane Series for 250 laps in the Gen 4s. If you like what you're seeing tonight, you're going to see quite a lot more of it tomorrow, and it's going to be the Integrity Racing League back in action, doing sim racing right since 2012, and it's going to be another great season opener in just a few hours' time. We're coming up on less than a day before the Octane Series gets to show on the road as well. Vinny Tigner right now going to be in 8th. He comes in from 40th. We got a bit of a swing of underdog drivers in the back half of the top 5. Cody Smith from 33rd to 5th. Kyle Trudell from 51st to 6th. Adam Wood 45th to 7th. Vinny Tigner 40th to 8th. Timothy Johnston from 42nd to 9th. Travis McQuistion, who won at Daytona last season, 19th to 10th. Now, hopefully, we do not go into overtime range from this point. Any other caution will get us in jeopardy of a green, white, checkered finish. Keep that in mind. We're coming up on the end of this one. 7 laps to go. We get back going. Any other restart will send us at the very most to 3 laps more of racing if we go for one final caution. Yellow flag out as it stands with 8 laps to go. And it's going to be Braxton Weiss, Chad Mikus, Cody Griffin, and then Cody Smith, the 4th man, with Thomas Bressie rounding out the top 5 all over again. I think right now drivers starting to get to that mentality that this is it, especially if you're up in front here trying to figure out what it takes to manage till the very end. That's going to be the biggest of deals for each and every one of those within the field. Waiting oh so long to get to this point is, of course, arduous in a sense, but for a lot of this race, we were under green. More and more, though, we're starting to see those yellows compound and stack up. Back-to-back yellows for the first time tonight. We just saw them, and now as the sun sets upon the virtual Daytona International Speedway, it's the sun that shines on your top 2 drivers, Braxton Weiss and Chad Mikus. The Weiss started in the middle of the field. Chad Mikus started on that very front row, and he's been there ever since. Can someone break between these 2 drivers up in front and maybe forge their own path? Or is it going to be all about the 2 you see up in front right now, and will they take it till lap 100 and make it to the checkered flag? It remains to be seen as the drivers come through this time by with 8 laps to go, and they're set to make it only 7. Is today a lucky one for a driver in the field we haven't mentioned? It could be a story of an underdog as we get back to it this time by. iRacing official pace car will drop in, and Braxton Weiss will get rolling once again. Green flag is going to fly. 7 laps remaining, and Braxton bolts out ahead. And this is what it's all about now. Already one driver in the wall. That's going to be Vinny Tigner. He looks to be destroyed. He'll fade back quickly as the field gets by him. Nobody in the mood for a yellow flag. Vinny stays up, and he knows what he has to do here. Unfortunately, going to sacrifice his chances and fade out of the picture. Tigner going to be up in the wall and all but destroyed now. Unfortunate circumstances. Vinny's going to fade back big as he's going to come across the stripe and have to go down a pit road. This time by 6 laps remain. That's all with Cody Griffin, your new race leader. He's pushed by Cody Smith. And now both of the Codys up in front. These 2 drivers ran successfully last season and now chase victory to kick off 2024. It's a great opportunity, and they're up in front for a good reason. Take a look, though, at Thomas Bressie, who's been the odds-on SuperSpeedway king of this series, and he's now inside the top 5, looking to make something happen. There goes the bottom side for Cody Smith. He's right there. You also see Chad Mikus on the top side, and now it's going to be all about whether or not Thomas Bressie can find the right lane. Is there something he can do to maybe make it around? We're going to find out. Although at the line, he's going to stay right there, and he's going to stick with his groove, pushing Braxton Weiss and helping Chad Mikus as the high side will say hello to the 5 lap to go signal. We're now coming down to the home stretch here in Florida. You'll see there Adam Woods going to get in the mix as well, and that number 45 machine is right there. Chad Mikas, he's going to get close there. You see there's Travis McQuistion going 3 abreast with Timothy Johnston, and now Johnston's going to be stuck 3 wide middle. They're all getting close once again, as the white flag is now just 10 miles away. It's going to be Cody Griffin leading with Smith right behind and Adam Wood there in third. At the top side of the track, it looks like DeWeese gets a big run and he will take himself back up to second, but still not going to be clear. 4 laps remain this time through, and it looks like now any other caution will send us into overtime range. And we'll head past our 100-lap scheduled distance in the instance that anyone else gets wrecked. Keep that in mind here as every driver is getting antsier. They're all going to be looking for that opportunity to maybe break away, but it's going to be very, very hard to find, especially now as you see 4 to go. It's going to be there. Cody Griffin right down at the bottom, and now Braxton Weiss really going to have to keep it tight on the middle. Not much else he can do as you see them pass by. Cal Filarski make it 3 laps remaining here as they stay oh so close. Wood's gonna get close, but luckily does not break. And at the line again, they stay neck and neck. 3 laps remaining here for all the entirety of this field. Braxton Weiss is going to maintain the middle. Thomas Bressie right up top, and Bressie's got the defending Daytona winner in Travis McQuistion right there with them. It's going to be experience that pays up on top, and they've got each other, at least for now, exactly where they want to be. It's going to be the rookies and the veterans clashing right now. You see right behind, there's Elliott Drummond in number 54. Drummond looking good to maybe make a march up in front, and he's going to bring Chris Coupeau with them. How about Tim Rogers in number 48? It's his first race in this series, and now he's got a chance to break out big with 5 miles to go. 2 laps left this time by. The next lap will make it official no matter what. There's still 3 abreast here, and they're going to make it across the stripe yet again with 2 laps to go. This could be it. If we can keep it straight for 4 more turns, then we'll make it all the way no matter what. It's going to be Griffin maintaining that bottom side. And as it stands, he's right there with them. Braxton Weiss is going to be right now in the runner-up spot. Cody Griffin going to be third. 4th is Travis McQuistion. Chad Mikas is going to be in 5th. And this is what it all comes down to. 2 laps to go. It's going to come through 3 and 4. The entirety of the pack as the sun beams down. 1 lap left if they make it to the white flag. And it looks like they will. This race will be official, and it will be the final lap in Daytona. White flag's out and motor blows and they all go crazy, but they make it past the white flag. So now we've got some trouble and they all go over. Fife, Gerbeau, and all of them make it out. It looks like now we're coming down to the final stretch and everyone will go nuts. Yellow flag is out and they're flickering all through. It looks like the server's gone nuts here as every driver tries to make it out, and we're unsure of what just happened as it's madness here in Daytona. As they're coming down the back straightaway this time by, we're trying to figure out who is where, but we can't even get a look, and now it's gone berserk. My oh my, coming through this time by. The field is still trying to get out of this one. It's a huge wreck, but we can't call it. So as they come across the line, we're trying to figure out who got it done. At the stripe, the checkered flag will fly, and as the motors go, it looks like Braxton Weiss is the man that gets it done. No, he'll be overtaken. At the stripe, Cody Griffin gets it done, but we still can't tell what's going on. The checkered flag's out, and it looks like the server has gone absolutely nuts. Checkered flag is out, and it looks like everyone got destroyed, and we still can't catch up to our winner. iRacing's gone nuts. Wow. Griffin, unofficially speaking, is the winner, and it's going to be destruction from there on out. Cody Griffin gets it done in the smoke show. There he is now, and we're finally catching up to him. He got by the smoke show, and that's all she wrote. Cody Griffin gets it done. And Griffin gets by, and that's all he needed. We saw him there leading at the white flag, and we'll try to bring it back with all the finish as he's set to burn it down already. The checkered flag is with Cody Griffin as he will win from Daytona, burning it down to the grass. And Cody Griffin takes up the entire front stretch to celebrate here in Daytona. And it looks like he'll park it just at the start-finish line, getting up to the front of the field when it matters, leading as the chaos ensues, and breaking out at the very end. Cody Griffin gets it done and will win here in Daytona. And we're going to take a look back and find out what happened there, because it looks like now we have a chance to maybe bring in some footage and show you exactly what caused it here. We saw the trouble, and so everything went absolutely ballistic here. But you see, as Cody Griffin was coming across the line, this is all we saw right before the mayhem. So as you see, coming through, Cody Griffin was the leading man at the line. This is not what determined the win. However, as you can see, there he was, Cody Griffin, advantageous right before everything got nuts, and it came off our screen. It was so hard to determine, but with frame-by-frame analysis, there you have it. Cody Griffin, we can show you without a shadow of a doubt, he was the man who got there at the end. One more time, we're going to bring the frame-by-frame look right back as everyone made it by. It's going to be Cody Griffin, the man who gets it done. And how tricky it is to bring it up. It looks like we saw him right there. This is before the chaos. Let's bring it back, the final lap that we were able to see, and we'll show you frame by frame how it went down. So with all that madness, Cody Griffin and the scoring will be given the win. And this is the footage that we're looking for, so take a look right back, and you'll see just what happened here with that 0-3. Griffin rolling down the back straightaway, gonna make it through. Braxton Weiss right there with him, and Thomas Bresci there as well. Bresci, though, after further calculation, he's gonna lose a spot with Chad Micus. However, this is the last we saw of Cody Griffin before everything hit the fan, and you'll see he was the leader coming through at the white flag here, but it looks like with the trouble, everything got resorted, and at the line, here we go again. Here it is, frame by frame, picking apart every moment until the race truly came to a finish. Now, the smoke show with Drummond is what kicked things off, and by then, everyone knew it was going to get nasty. And what we saw was DeWeese and Griffin at the line, and then it got troublesome from there. And that was all it was. And then from there, we see Cody Griffin following the recalculation. You can see how nasty it was for every driver here as the field came apart. And either way, Cody Griffin got it done as your race winner from Daytona. How about that? It's going to be Griffin winning from Braxton Weiss in second, Chad Micus third, and Tim Rogers fourth, with Don Stevenson in fifth and Forrest Smith then in the sixth spot. Seventh place is going to be Neil Froelich, and it's going to be Adam Wood in the eighth position. Ninth place is going to be then Timothy Johnston, and Don Runkle is in 10th. 11th place is going to be Brian McFerrin with Nick Tarbuck 12th, Kyle Trudell in 13th, and Rob Ackley in 14th, Trevor Trago 15th, and it's going to be 16th place Carter Casey. And it's going to be 17th then, Thomas Bresci. Brad Patton is 18th, Guile Brooks is 19th, and Ryan Potter's 20th, with 21st then being Cody Erdman, Jacob 5 22nd, and then you'll see Elliott Drummond 23rd. Alan Dobbs is 24th with Chris Cobo 25th, John Borst 26th and 27th with Cody Smith. It's then Travis McQuistion, Todd Thomas, and Nicholas Cohan, and that's going to be 28th, 29th, and 30th. And then from there, you're going to see Jay Aishman 31st, Matthew Thunders 32nd, Andrew Schaub 33rd, John Pillion 34th, and Boomer Logan 35th, Cal Filarski 36th and 37th. Shane Ewing. Chuck Sweeting is 38th, and Sebastian Miller is 39th, with Vinny Tigner in the 40th spot. It'll be 41st, Kyle Cooper and Brad Wren, then 42nd, with Justin Trombley in 43rd, DJ Stagner 44th, Anthony DeBarro in 45th, and then Blake Gordon 46th, with Sean Carmody in 47th. It'll be 48th, Brandon Bernhardt, Brandon Kirkman 49th, and Bobby Terrell 50th, with Stephen Wetton and Alan Rowell rounding out your field. But Cody Griffin was the man who, of course, waited till the last moment to get it done. Up front since the start, helping out with those at the front of the pack. But tonight, Bridesmaid he was not. Tonight was his. And Cody Griffin, you come through. It was top 10 just about all race long, but it was the final 5 laps. You got the chance to break out, and you pull home the victory here in Daytona. How's it feel getting it done and collecting the checkered flag from the World Center of Racing?
Man, I don't know. It feels pretty good. I didn't think we were going to win that, to be honest with you, especially on the bottom. Just the way that the runs and everything had went all through the night with the bottom kind of stacked. It just seemed like you wanted to be. The middle lane seemed to me like the best line to be in, but obviously at last restart, I couldn't get up to the bottom or to the middle, so I was kind of stuck where I was at. But man, I'm telling you, I think it was Cody Smith that was behind me pushing me. Hell of a job by that guy. I owe him a lot. Thank yous, and he didn't push me too aggressive. He pushed me really good. Honestly, he never knocked me sideways once. So he done a really good job. He should be proud of wherever he finished. Just I know there was a lap down traffic that we caught right there on the last lap going off into 3 that kind of, I think, wrecked a bunch of them. But it's just a good race. I mean, honestly, to have 60 cars and make it, right at the halfway before we had a first caution. I mean, that's freaking awesome on everybody's part. Everybody in this league tonight that raced should be proud of themselves, because I think it was a really good race. And thanks to Boomer and Fife and everybody else that, puts this deal on and lets us come and gives us a hell of a place to come race. I really appreciate it. And it's nice to get a win the first race, got that out of the way. So now it's just kind of points racing and try to be there at the end of the season and see if we can get a win in the octane race tomorrow night in the Cup car.
And we saw how good you were working on the inside line, and of course every lane was stacked up there 3x3x3 before the chaos ensued. So what was it like getting that connection on the bottom, which really helped you get into the victory?
Yeah, I don't run many plate races on here anymore, just because I ran a lot of them when I first got on this service. I've been doing this since 2013, so I don't run a whole lot of plate stuff. And I noticed when we ran the duels last week that I was a little rusty on the plate stuff, so I actually ran the Daytona 500, the iRacing Daytona 500 last night, just to get some plate racing back under my belt and kind of learn, see what I could figure out. Which obviously the next-gen Cup car is a lot different than these Xfinity cars. These Xfinity cars move around a lot more in the draft. But it's all about positioning yourself, especially at Daytona. You just gotta have good talent, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of luck too. And I was just at the right place at the right time and had Cody behind me, and was able to get the win. So really proud of the effort by my team, JTM, Thomas Bressy, and Matthew. I don't know if they got caught up in. I think Matthew got caught up in that second to last caution, and Bressy got caught up in that last wreck. And I hate that, but it's a win for JTM. So we'll see if we can go get another one tomorrow night in the Cup race and do a sweep.
And you mentioned that you're going to be back tomorrow night for the Octane Series, looking to maybe go 2 for 2. You already got this one. You think there's something you can transfer over to keep the magic alive for perhaps a back-to-back victory?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, good just to, I've said it since, I started this stuff. It's just like real life. I mean, you got to be on here and practicing and, be kind of involved with the packages that the cars have on them at the time, because they change, from season to season as far as draft models and all that stuff. So experience and just, learning is a big part of it. But, we ran the duels last week and finished pretty good in them, and then finished 6th in the 500 last night and then won this one. So luck's definitely on my side. I'd love to get the sweep tomorrow night and win both of them. That'd be awesome. But, it's all about being in the right spot at the right time. So we'll see what happens, but looking forward to it.
And kicking off the first race of the Ignite season as well as possible, Cody Griffin, you win here in the Big Evil Designs 250. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank after this performance?
Just again, thanks to everybody that helps run Integrity and puts the league on. I mean, it's a great place to run. Probably honestly one of the best leagues on the service, to be honest. Really professional, and they do a good job there. Thanks to JTM, my teammates, Thomas Bressy, Matthew, Justin, Casey Shue. He's not here tonight. I'm sure he's watching, so hey to him. Hey to Pete Stewart. He's my crew chief in real life on the late model. I know he's watching, so hello to Pete. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to all the fans for tuning in, watching this stuff. I mean, we really appreciate when everybody tunes in and watches it. It makes it more fun for us to run it and give y'all something to watch. So hopefully that was a good show, and we'll see if we can put on another good one tomorrow night.
And with a chance to go back-to-back, Cody Griffin getting the first of 2 wins here in the Integrity Racing League, finishing it off at Daytona in the Ignite Series as a winner. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.
And with Cody Griffin on the way for Braxton Weiss, he finished second tonight and a return to the Integrity Ignite Series, well anticipated for this number 13 team, and they'll come through with the runner-up spot. Braxton, second place on the day. You come home just behind our race winner. Had a very successful start with some bonus points after getting the stage win. What's it like as you return here to the Ignite Series?
Just led the most laps, and I felt really good, really confident about my car and the ability of what I could do, making moves and whatnot throughout the whole race. So, I'm honestly kind of proud of what I put together tonight. It wasn't a win, but I feel like I did everything I could to be up there and have a chance for it. It's unfortunate what happened there in turn 4, but it happens. We've all been in a situation to where after we realize that, it's very dumb, but there's nothing really you could do about it at that point. So you just learn from it. So we've all been in that position. So my understanding is what it is. But we had a really good start to the year, like you said, and just looking we can keep that going and have the speed week in and week out, and keep it up.
And already a great way to start it here. We saw you were up front leading laps, and you started in the middle of the field. So with that being said, what was it like climbing up from the start of the field, of course not being up in front, to keeping yourself consistently within the top 5?
Yeah, I knew coming into the race when I started 23rd, I kind of wanted to make some moves and get up to the front as soon as I could, in an efficient manner. So I made it 3 wide here and there. I went to the middle on lap 6 or we're between lap 3 or lap 6, something. The hole opened up, so I took it. I kind of just wanted to take opportunities that I can and try to get up to the front. I felt like if you were up front and you stayed up front, that was honestly the best place to be. In my luck, it was. I know there was, I believe there was a wreck up there, but we were all good. So I'm just happy that we could make the right moves at the right time, and to put ourselves in a good position to stay up front and try to make the moves to see which line has the more momentum and whatnot. So like coming from the bottom to the top, I kind of did that a couple good times. So just trying to find the line, the momentum, and rolling with it and making your moves when they're there. You just pretty much got to send it. So that's kind of what I did.
And tell you this much, if that worked out, there's a chance it does tomorrow. You're one of the many drivers, as well as our winner tonight, Cody Griffin, looking to go for the double in the Octane Series. Maybe a chance to find some racing redemption and win after 250 miles tomorrow night. You think there's a chance to do so?
Yeah, most definitely, as long as I can hit my marks and keep myself up in the front and, do what I did tonight, just be one spot better.
And with a chance to do just one more, Braxton Weiss, second place tonight. You come through just behind our race winner. If there's anyone else you'd like to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, for sure. Alan's Arts Images on the car. This is a brand new car we just put together for this league. I really love the paint scheme, and looking to keep it up front more throughout this year. Big shout out to Randy Allen. He tunes into a lot of my races, especially the ones where he's on the car. So big shout out to him. You go give him a shout out and check him out on Facebook and all the other social medias, Alan's Arts Images. So big shout out to him. I also want to give a shout out to Interstate Ford, Bennett's Bubicle, Jane's on Main, Booth 34 Diecast, Unrivaled Cinematography, Blaze Designs, and everybody that tunes in and supports me. We had some people in the chat early. I feel like we always do, which I really do appreciate. And I look forward to seeing what they got to say in the chat and rooting me on. And look forward to the rest of this year, and hopefully we make this a good one.
And only the beginning as you come through with a stage win and an overall second place finish. Braxton Weiss, number 2 spot on the board tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, David. Have a good one.
And with Braxton Weiss on the way, we get to talk to your pole sitter who came through with a podium finish after all is said and done. Started first, finished third, and led some laps along the way. Chad Mikas, you round out the podium tonight. What's it like coming through cleanly with that third place finish?
Well, it's a damn relief, I can tell you that. I don't think I finished a single plate race here without being on my lid or in a last lap crash. So it's nice to bring her home somewhat in one piece.
I'll tell you this much, with, of course, how long this one was. We saw first half, no cautions, and then from there got a little dicier, but you kept yourself up there from the very beginning, and qualifying position might have helped you out with that one. How important do you think the pole position was to have to hold on to those spots as the race went on?
That was definitely the key. I got to thank Rob Ackley for pretty much saving me there and giving me the tips I needed to qualify up front. Also helped. I did the FTF qualifying for their 500 miler a couple weeks ago too, so still kind of fresh in my head. But he gave me the line, what to do, and I pulled that out of my butt. That's for sure. I'm not a notoriously good qualifier by any means, but we're able to put the 25 on the pole for a change. So it was a good start to the season for sure.
And it looked like the practice paid off in that regard, kept you clean for the good most part of it. And a strategy tonight, we did see some green flag stops. We saw some pit stops under yellow in between. You think there was anything in particular that really helped you stay up there no matter what?
Honestly, I learned in the dual race, I just needed to be more aggressive. I kind of laid back after, knowing I was going to start on the pole no matter what, but I tried to race a little bit, kind of learn as much as I could, but I wasn't aggressive enough to keep my car out front, and I think that was really the key in kind of staying out of all the trouble tonight and really putting myself in position at the end. We were involved in a couple incidents, unfortunately. Some guys coming off the wall there, getting stuck, and I got some door damage early on. I think, that first yellow or so. And then obviously we got squeezed in the last 10 or 15 laps, but just trying to be as aggressive as I could to stay out there really saved me this time around. So,
and honestly, of all of our top three, there's one thing that's a little different between you and those just ahead. Your next race is not going to be tomorrow night from what we understand. You'll be back, though, next week as the Ignite Series gets back to work. Auto Club will be the next step for you, and great start when it comes to the point standings. You think there's a chance to keep yourself up here and maybe fight for a good starting spot, shall we say, in the championship battle?
Yeah, I look forward to Auto Club. It's very big track, multiple lanes. Me and Stroll really work on that track specifically. Him and I have run pretty well there in the past. It's just a matter of not hitting the turn 4 wall, which I seem to do quite a bit. So I'm excited to get back out to Auto Club. It's a shame they're tearing it down in real life, but we're going to preserve it on the sim and give you guys a show.
And hoping to give us another great show tonight, Chad Mikas. You pull through, podium finish. If there's anyone else you'd like to thank, third in the Big Evil Designs 250, let us know right now.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, all my DIR teammates, Rob, Nick, Boomer, my friends at Firelight Esports, who I'm also running with. Cody Erdman was a big help tonight, especially early on in that race. All of my sponsors. We had IMB Racewear on the car. They're going to be a major primary for me this year, along with Brez Coffee Company. Fortunately, some competing products here, so I apologize to you, David. You guys do a hell of a job, but Pit Stop TV, Whiplash Simcams, Do the Move podcast. Obviously, Big Evil Designs, that's my kind of thing. That's my brand, so appreciate everybody who runs our templates, uses files from our website. Obviously, Integrity Racing League. We've got a pretty damn competitive field here. It's been a lot of fun last year or so running with everybody here. As you see tonight, we had 50 plus cars here at Daytona. My own league that I run, we had 60 cars at Talladega and had a much worse race than we did tonight. So shout out to everybody for putting on a clean show for the most part. It's unfortunate what happened on that last lap there, but props to Cody Griffin there for staking out there and getting the W, and obviously, shout out to Brax as well. I was trying to push him there at the end. So obviously to you too, David. We appreciate everything you do here. And last but not least, I got to give a shout out to Next Level Racing. I'm in their one of their rigs, man, and it is a game changer. I can tell you that. I haven't had anything like this before. When it comes to sim rigs or anything, and it's top notch stuff. So appreciate them for giving me a little bit of a boost as well in performance. So.
And hoping, of course, to see a lot more from this number 25 team. It's a podium finish tonight. Chad Mikas, you pull through and round out the top 3 when all is said and done here in Daytona. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you, buddy.
Chad Mikas on the move. It's a top 3 to remember. Your pulser keeps it there. 3rd place, Braxton Deweese climbs big for 2nd. And Cody Griffin pulls through and gets it done for his first win this season. The first of any driver, and he's the landmark man tonight, getting it done and winning in Daytona. The World Center of Racing kicks off the Integrity Ignite Series this year, but keep this in mind, we are just getting started, and if you want to keep on going, stay tuned all year long for FTN's coverage of the Integrity Ignite Series. It's going to be fantastic to watch as we're going to keep on going. Next week is going to be the Auto Club Speedway, 110 laps, and it's going to be Auto Club, 220 miles of high-speed racing in California, and we'd love to have you there. This has been the Big Evil Designs 250, hosted at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. If you enjoy the action, be sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. It's always greatly appreciated live on FTN. I've been David Kreutz, your commentator and producer for all of tonight's action, and I'll see you tomorrow night with the Integrity Octane Series as they set to get going for their first race of the season, the Daytona 250 with the Gen 4s. Thank you all for your immense support tonight, and we hope to see you tomorrow and for the remainder of our racing week. Until next broadcast, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you once again live on FTN.